Welcome you all to the new video in international trade. Our today's topic is trade as an engine of growth. So yesterday we started the relation between trade and development. In the last class we discussed the trade theory and economic development, and this is the second section of the topic, trade and development. This is trade as an engine of growth. Then that means trade is considered as an engine of growth. Trade is a factor responsible for the overall development of nations involved in international trade. This is relevant. Trade is so relevant for the nations involved in international trade. So this is not limited to the exporting nation. This is also possible for the importing nation. Import and export are both relevant in international trade. Only export is not uh, making a sense for the nations. Both export and import will make the sense for the development of nations. So let us discuss the topic, trade is an engine of growth, or trade as an engine of growth. This is the second topic of the three sections of trade and development. In the last class, we discussed trade theory and economic development. Today, we have trade as an engine of growth. Tomorrow, hopefully, we have contributions of trade to development. Now, trade as an engine of growth. Here we discuss how does trade stimulate economic growth of the nations involved in international trade, involved in exporting and importing of commodities. How does the trade contribute to the development of nations? And this is we will discuss this relation in the context of in the background of, or in the with the example of industrial revolution of Great Britain and subsequent growth in various nations outside Great Britain. That means the benefit of trade is not limited to a single nation. This is international trade. That means there will be number of nations involved in the process of exporting and importing. Not one country, not a single country. Only a single country cannot do everything. So this is take the case of India. India export so many commodities to so many nations, including United States, Japan, China. We are even exporting commodities to North Korea. North Korea is that isolated country. What we export certain commodities to North Korea, even North Korea. That means we are the nations are highly globalized, even though there are so many restrictions for the import and export. So before explaining the uh, trade as an engine of growth, let us look an example of industrial revolution. You might have heard about industrial revolution of 19th century. This was a remarkable history in the period of Great Britain and even in the period of world. United Great Britain has made a remarkable progress in the economy. Their economy has increased by 10 times after industrial revolution in 19th century. The period of industrial revolution was um, almost starting from 1815 to 1913. This period they witnessed the so many inventions, so many discoveries in that has been applied in industrial sector. So they saw uh, a tremendous change in industrial production, and their GNP, real income of real national income of Great Britain has increased by 10 times. At the same time, population of Great Britain increased by 3 times. So that means their GNP per capita of Great Britain has increased by almost 3.3 times. that means they have made tremendous progress in the economic development of Great Britain. This is a marvelous kind of achievement after industrial revolution. So after this, the economy starts growing. The economy of the other nations are also growing as the demand for the commodities increased from Great Britain. So this has led to the development of other nations as well, as since Great Britain started importing commodities from various nations like United States, Canada, New Zealand, Argentina, Uruguay, and South Africa. So these nations were also growing thanks to the industrial revolution of Great Britain. As demand from Great Britain has increased, as their income has increased by 10 times. So this led to the growth of the other nations as well. This is the kind of application of accelerator principle and multiplier principle. So the economy has multiplied. That means the economic activities is in fact a chain. um, uh, you can you know that the present COVID-19 pandemic induced lockdown is halting the all entire economic activities into a standstill. That means when one sector is in standstill, other sectors will also be affected. So this is a kind of chain process that the economy has been witnessing. So the industrial revolution of Great Britain has benefited other nations as well, as the demand for the commodities, especially demand for food and raw materials, uh, uh, has increased from Great Britain. So they started importing commodities from outside the nation. That means um, after industrial revolution, Great Britain's demand for commodities has increased. Their demand for food and raw materials has increased. So they started importing commodities from United States, Canada, Uruguay, Argentina, Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa. So industrial revolution of Great Britain has made has transferred the progress from Great Britain to all these nations. This is actually not a transfer. This is actually uh, benefiting these nations also. Why these nations were growing? These nations were also growing as they have rich natural resources. So export sector of these economies uh, has become active. So besides that, the migration happened in these in nations from the overpopulated European nations. So after industrial revolution, Great Britain has become a developed economy, and other economies which have been the markets for Great Britain, like United States, Canada, Uruguay, Argentina, Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa, were also benefited, and some of these nations have become developed. Some of other nations still are developing or emerging nations. So that means the partner economies were also benefited from the export of one country, one a single country, that is Great Britain. So Great Britain developed because of industrial revolution. So after industrial revolution, Great Britain started immensely importing commodities from various nations. So those nations were immensely hugely benefited from the import by Great Britain. United States, New Zealand, Australia are some of the major developed nations of the markets of Great Britain in that period. The sea transportation has been improved in these countries. It facilitated the export and import of commodities. Migration has started. Migration of workers, international migration of workers have started for the infrastructural development of these nations, these partner nations of Great Britain. Capital has also started to cross the border. Capital is in the form of investment. So many natural resources in these nations were started to be exploited, started to be used. So on the demand side, industrial revolution happened in Great Britain in 19th century. This has resulted in the increase of real GNP in Great Britain by 10 times, and their real GNP per capita has increased by 3.3 times in Great Britain, and their demand for food and raw materials has increased. So they started importing commodities from various nations, but their demand for food and raw materials is not increasing proportionately to their income. So you can relate this with the economic principle of the given goods, or you can relate this with the principle of elasticity. So let us look why the demand for food and raw materials in Great Britain has not increased proportionately to the increase in income. Income has increased by 3.3 times per capita. GNP has increased by 3.3 times in Great Britain due to the industrial revolution in 19th century. So why the demand has not increased for food and raw material? One point is low income elasticity of demand for food and raw materials, because food and raw materials is not a product like a luxury commodity. This is an essential commodity, so its elasticity will be low. It will not be demanded as and when the income is increasing. So the growth of demand is not proportionate, it is less proportionate as the commodities are mostly essential commodities. Second reason for the slow growth of demand for food and raw materials in Great Britain is the introduction of synthetic substitutes. Synthetic substitutes are the chemical are the substitute produced by using the chemical materials other than natural commodities. For example, the case of synthetic rubber. Synthetic rubber has reduced the demand for natural rubber. Remind you, if there is no synthetic rubber, what will be the demand for natural rubber? In fact, there are only a few natural rubber producers in the world, including India is a major producer, Malaysia is a major producer, Thailand is a major producer of rubber, and in India itself, Kerala is the major producer of natural rubber. But these few nations cannot cater the need of rubber, since rubber has been a major raw material for many industries, many commodities in the world. So this is its demand has been halted by the introduction of synthetic rubber. So it is used in the tire of the automobiles. So this kind of introduction, this kind of innovation, this kind of invention has halted or slowed the demand for natural commodities or primary commodities like rubber. So the third reason is technological advancement. This is another reason for slowing the demand for primary commodities in Great Britain. We are taking the example of industrial revolution in Great Britain. So in Great Britain, the demand for food and raw materials or primary commodities has reduced, has not increased in proportion to the increase in income. So the reason is technological advancement. So in many factories, so in many sectors, even in agricultural sector, technology started to take over the man or men. So this has reduced raw material content of many products. So technology has taken over, and the in place of labor and other raw materials. So fourth reason for the slow increase in demand for primary commodities in Great Britain was output of services. So services sector has been growing in the world, in all the nations. So this is growing faster than the output of commodities in, especially in developed nations. This is another reason for the slow growth of demand for primary commodities in Great Britain. So Great Britain witnessed the growth of services. So in fact all nations in the recent time has been witnessing the high growth of services sector. Even Indian economy has been witnessing the growth of services sector. This time in the COVID-19 period, even services sector has been in trouble along with all other sectors. So this is another reason for the slow. So the last point I have for you is trade restriction. Due to trade restriction, due to trade restrictive measures in practice, import of many commodities from developing nations is reducing. So this is another reason for the slow growth of demand for primary commodities in developed nations, including Great Britain after Industrial Revolution. So we talked about trade as an engine of growth. Trade is benefiting all the nations, even exporting nation, importing nation. That trade will be benefiting all the nations, exporting nations, importing nation, and this is the trade will transfer the benefit from one country to another country. So it will benefit everybody, every nation involved in international trade. Having said that, the benefit of developing nations from international trade is not like the benefit of developed nations. We have been talking about that in this video. As Great Britain after Industrial Revolution has developed a lot, and they started importing commodities from the other nations. So other nations also developed, or other nations also improved a lot, and they benefited a lot from international trade as they exported commodities to Great Britain. But the demand for primary commodities in these nations are low compared to the demand for manufactured commodities. Demand for manufactured commodities will be high, as manufactured commodities will not be mostly necessary commodity. That will be either normal commodities or luxury commodities, of which the demand will be increasing more than proportionately or proportionately to the increase in income. So this is all about trade as an engine of growth. This is the second section of trade and development. In the third section tomorrow we have the contributions of trade to development. Thank you.